Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to be opening up today one of my all-time favorite characters from any genre, SAMUS ARAN Prime 3 version. So this is claiming to be the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption version, but it's close enough to the version I want, which is the Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echo's Varia suit, which is basically what this is. It's just licensed out, I think, for this game. I don't see any differences in the suit design from the Metroid Prime series first two games to this one, so I'm just going to call it the Metroid Prime Varia suit. I did play Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes a lot. Really enjoyed those games, some of my favorite games of all time. I've already got my Zero suit Samus to go with my Varia suit Samus. I would love if they made a gravity suit variant of this with the purple highlights, because that's probably my favorite suit, period. But the Varia suit is definitely my main favorite suit. A lot of stuff down here in the native language of those who made this for us, from the Good Smile Company, sponsored by Figma, Max Factory. This is available on Big Bad Toy Store right now. I pre-ordered this. I'm thrilled that this finally came out. This was supposed to originally release in May of this year, but of course, due to the pandemic and all the delays, we just now are getting it. So I hope you're as excited as I am to open this up. I have a lot of amazing ideas with this figure when it comes to posing and potential dioramas that I'm going to make for me, because this is a figure I plan on keeping and having fun with. Alright, I got the wrapping off and the cover off. This figure is looking really awesome right out of the box. I love the color. I always worry when they do sort of a metallic shiny plastic that it's going to appear super duper duper fake, but I think this looks really great. I think it looks like it just came right out of the Nintendo 64 Metroid Prime game. The look and the angular look of it as well also kind of matches the 64-bit graphics, but obviously it doesn't ruin it. I like this little torso articulation we have right here. That's something I'm really that really drew me to this figure, aside from loving the character, is how articulated the promotional photos looked. So it looks like we've got these joints that pop back here. I don't know if there's a technical name for those joints. Maybe you can tell me if there is in the comments below. But that, I think, is going to help with the range of motion. That is something I was really looking forward to. Let's look at the accessories before I get her out and pose her. She, of course, comes with a morph ball. Let me pop this out from the bottom, which I plan on doing all kinds of fun things with. This is when Samus morphs into a ball, so she can go into tight spaces and go up and down tracks that were designed for this technology. I plan on using this in dioramas that I plan on making for her. And she comes with a arm cannon in the ready to fire position. Open and ready to fire. Very cool looking. It'd be cool if they made like expansion sets for this, so you could switch it out for different arm cannons as she upgrades to the ice and lava weapons and stuff like that throughout the game. Very cool. The detail looks nice. It's painted fairly clean. There's a little overspray from the blue in the crack there, but I don't think that'll matter really to me in the long run. Thumbs up right hand, or left hand, excuse me. Thumbs up left hand, as the Zero suit comes with the thumbs up right hand. So you can have her giving herself a thumbs up if you wanted to. A open sort of reaching palm left hand for all your reaching needs. These look really good too. These look like, I like that they look like they're painted underneath with a clear acrylic piece over the top. So that does give a dimensional effect to that. I like that. It makes it look more dimensional and it's not just molded plastic. And then we of course have a reaching for a handshake or holding a weapon or gripping something left hand. These all look great. The fingers look really good. Sometimes the fingers, when they're split apart like this, don't come across right. Like sometimes you see on the Marvel Legends, they just don't look right when they're split apart. That's why they're usually together. But this looks great, nice and clean, and they do feel nice and strong. Yeah, they do feel like they're made of a harder plastic, so that's reassuring. And of course we have the normal rotating ball joints here. Something that Figma / Good Smile Company does on these figures is they send you this little Ziploc bag to put your extra parts in so you don't lose them. Absolutely love this, Figma. Please keep doing this. This is great. And of course she comes with this Figma stand that articulates. Let's pop this out really quick. It's got the clear base with the Figma labeling and the arm that you can just push right into the base. And this one is nice and stiff. The last one of these I got from Damtoys was the same material, but the arm was not very stiff, and when I tried to tighten it, it kind of was stuck between that it's too tight or too loose point, but this feels really nice right where it is. So that's great. So just to show you what you can do, this morph ball I saw had an anchor point right there. We can put the morph ball on the peg, and you can have the morph ball, you know, floating or turning or sitting right next. Let's get, this is Samus Aran out. The way I describe Metroid to people who've never played it is that it's kind of like the character and the character's motivations is kind of like a combination of Boba Fett and Indiana Jones, and it's set in a space setting, so it's kind of reminiscent of sci-fi from the 80s and 90s, the style and the vibe, with some horror mixed in there. It's very, you can tell there's very strong influence from the Aliens franchise, as well as the Star Wars franchise, and I love everything about it. That's probably why I love this game so much, is because that's where a lot of my inspirational creative roots come from, is 80s and 90s science fiction movies. It looks like, wow, there is an incredible amount of movement in this figure, just moving a couple of joints. Really liking this, and she's so clean looking, even with the joints in there. Oh man, this is a great figure. Okay, so let's see, we've got on the shoulders, the tops of the morph ball do have a little bit of freedom of movement, front to back like that, but it's really those joints. Yeah, look at that, you get that, the arm goes up really, really far there, beyond 90, and then it's got that front and back butterfly movement. And then the elbows go all the way forward and a hair past straight, looks like maybe 185 degrees, and a little past 90, so maybe 85 degrees there. So that's nice. The cannon rotates probably because it can come off. It looks like, yeah, it just pops right off. Nice, that's great. The top of the torso rotates. You can get that a lot farther. You can get that really far. Not that you're gonna need to break her spine, but you can get that quite far. The backwards motion from a standing position is not super far, and it wants to pull forward a little bit, but the forward motion is pretty good, especially with this moving plate. So that's nice. Pretty good, that's pretty good. The side to side motion, pretty good jiggle there. The head looks like it is on a 2-point pivot. So at the base of the neck, it's got a ball joint. I don't know if you can see that. At the base of the neck, there's a joint. She's got a collar covering the ball joint and the ball joints. And then the head is on its own ball joint. So you've got, looks like you've got quite a bit of rotation in the head, quite a bit of look down, quite a bit of look up. So that's great. That collar frees her up quite a bit. Same thing on the other side with the positional joints in the hand. You can move her up and down. Looks like it comes out a little bit. You can push it back in. Yeah, it comes out, and you can move it up and down without it popping out. So that's great. That's nice because those tend to pop out on my other figures. The hips, this one was when I was wondering, okay, so we've got the Y, that sort of Y-shaped joint in there, and the hip also has a collar over that section. Looks like there's a ton of movement front to back on each hip, and it also rotates as well as moves front to back. There's your front to back, and there's your rotation. Looks like you get over 180 degrees on that rotation there. The knee joint goes, ooh, that's awesome. The knee joint goes really far, which is another thing that I was excited about when I saw the promo pictures. That goes, and it looks like they cut out the calf for that too. Thank you, Figma. That's a great design choice. Looks like it goes maybe back down to, I don't know, what do we call that? That's 45, so maybe 30 degrees. That's pretty far. There's a little bit of bend. Looks like you got straight to a little bit far forward there. And then the ankle is, oh, that's pretty ingenious. Okay, I haven't owned a figure like this. If they already exist out there, I'm sorry, but it's new to me. The base of the foot is separate from the heel, so you can get an extreme amount of rotation out of the foot. That is a really smart design. I have not seen this before. If any of you have, please let me know, and on what figure, because I think that is great. And then of course the hip, or the heel, moves very far forward, down, and we're very far up. There's a lot of motion there. That's, wow, we've got almost 100, well, you got about 180 degrees of movement in the foot. And then of course you have toe articulation that goes all the way, almost 90, like 85 degrees up and back to flat. Wow, you can do a lot of cool stuff with this figure. Yeah, man, I was really excited about this figure. Cool, let's see if we can put her in some awesome poses. Okay, I think we have our first awesome pose. Kind of looking like she's jumping back away from something, right? She's shooting at a creature on an alien world, or she's blasting, she's flying out of a situation, like there's an explosion going. Really dynamic figure. Cannot wait to make dioramas for her. Dynamic figure. Samus is giving us the thumbs up in the background there. Oh man, this is gonna look so cool in a diorama. Oh man, I just love this suit design. It's so cool. I love jetpacks, as I've said in previous videos. I love helmets and armor, especially when it's science fiction. So, you know, you got Samus, the Rocketeer, Boba Fett, some of my favorite characters of all time, you know, because of their cool techno suits. That one took a minute. I was trying to emulate the pose on the box that kind of sold me on the figure. It's really close. Looks like with some more futzing, that's the one that sold me on it. I saw that and I'm like, I need this figure. This figure's perfect. So it looks like I definitely can't achieve that. I just need to be a little bit more patient. But for the sake of presentation, I didn't want to take forever doing that. I wanted to get to the point here. But just with some more futzing with the hips, and the left arm, it looks like I could definitely get that exactly where it is, to get that cool pose. This figure is super dynamic. Really happy I bought this. Definitely worth the wait. It's great. It's absolutely great. And I have already overexerted multiple joints and popped them out, and I'm surprised how far you can push these joints, especially the shoulder and the feet, before they pop apart. And it looks like they're designed to pop apart and not break, because of when they pop out, especially down here, I overexerted the ankle joint, and it looks like the joint that pegs into the rotating part of the foot is part of the joint for the ankle. It actually travels through, so when you overexert it, it just pops the piece apart and doesn't pop out of a joint or break something. It basically doesn't let you overstress it. So I don't know if that was intentional or accidental, but if it was intentional, they're genius, because it basically prevents you from breaking the figure. It just lets you overextend it till it pops apart. And that, I got way more articulation out of the top of that neck joint than I thought I was going to. You know, overall impressions of this figure are that it's absolutely incredible. These figures look great together, the Zero suit and the Varia suit. I actually might pick up a second one of these just in case they sell out, or in case I do damage this one. I won't have to pay a ton of money on the secondary market if I ever need to replace her. I may pick up the second one just because of that. Here's how she looks from the back. Just a super cool dynamic figure. This is gonna look amazing. I have some incredible dioramas in mind that are just in the theme of the games, where she goes to other worlds and encounters alien species, and looks at ancient archaeological sites for alien species. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see what dioramas I make and what awesome photos I plan on taking with Samus. Stay tuned.